And back to my own poems. Dawn in latter August. Morning streams path tides of day. Closing flowers hide their sheen. Stretching women search policy. And sullen summer sleeps away. The next two poems, the word wait is spelled W-A-I-T, as in wait a while. Midnight and a rambling sky. Lady, I cannot say I'm pleased with me as I par the gap of age and youth, and I wander in the wait of night, and I wonder where the wrong began. Lady, if we could now just have met, and time were back to younger time, but love defaults to a rambling sky, the stars lean down and quietly laughed. Hours to come in the wait of night. I, by a lake, face a scouring sky, and think of the time when love lay by. My love lay by, delightedly eating wine we were drinking, when I and my love faced the scouring sky, the scouring sky. Now I, on my back, with a book to delight, think of hours to come in the wait of night, the wait of night. Listlessly dreaming and noteworthy seeming, I'll think of the time when love lay by, my love lay by. Early of an evening. In the early of the evening, while the world was mocking time, she left without a reason, and yet with some alarm. Her thoughts were all of going, she wouldn't seem to stay. In the early of the evening, while the world was mocking time. Now we move to the image of the sea for the next several poems. Most favorite image of mine. And one of those 4-line lyrics again. When loss is in the night, and darkness glooms the day, the hours drag me by, the years would fly away. The sea brings in the night, and deep receiving me, again, again I turn to the anchoring sea. Blear to the night, on into obsoleting night, buoyed past jetties, past the shell, dark of the night. Blear, blear to the heart, heel to the wind with no answering helm, striven past silence, past the shoals, time of the night. On, in obsoleting night. The next poem is a sea chanty. It does have a reference that's a little obscure, I guess, if you're not a sailor, to being caught in irons. Those of you who are, forgive me if I just briefly explain that there comes a moment, no matter how strong the wind is and no matter how strong the tide is, when if you're not handling the boat right, you can actually get stuck. And even though the helm is out at the lee or whatever, And when one does get straightened out, if you're not careful, it can be a very, very dangerous moment. Snap a mast or whatever. And this poem is called Sea Chanty. Aleatory wind on the numinous sea, the wail of the Harkness is in the sail, gust to a time when I was free. Aleatory wind on the numinous sea, the sail is luffing, no one to hail, listing to starboard, though helms are lee, caught here in irons, 3 steps to bail. Yet the wail of the Harkness is in the sail. O aleatory wind of a numinous sea. Let's try a sonnet now, staying with the sea image. And I suppose you could write this one off as the artist's necessary railing against the academy, which today, while proclaiming the absence of theories and freedom, to me has more theories and restrictions than I can possibly imagine. And it's simply called Sonnet. Primitive, in my perpetual dawn, I seek the sea-edged by a sundry sky, and flail-watered notions that tyrannize, and monstrous bankrupt the lovelier word. Give way of theories, they destroy the wise. Accede back through the eloquent heart. Give in to the clouds and the awesome day. Curl in the sea at the edge of the sky, while tedious license stifles the past. Ignoring music that inures the heart, ignoring mere language, seamster of thought. Let the freer declaim, mediocre on the trolling sea, drained of denizen, primitive to my perpetual dawn. And the last poem of the series of sea images, which then lead into the Rinner translation, where she says, deep into the wave she raced, is really so obscure that I'm suddenly reminded of, standing up here, Pascal's comment that do not accuse me of obscurity because I lay claim to it. You who have startled the sound of the sea, you who are startled like me, give to the time of the sea, and walk in the marsh of the sea. From there we ramble through Rinner and Antipater and Archilochus and Praxilla, all of which were done with Professor Arthur. And then the scene shifts to the third section of the book, which is some woman poems. We have to have some woman poems. And here's a sampling of a few of them. Dawn, and of course it's a 4-line lyric. Dawn in latter August, morning streams path tides of day, closing flowers hide their sheen, stretching women search policy, and sullen summer sleeps away. And the next poem, the word wait is W-A-I-T, as in wait for the train, not the weight of the train. And it's called Midnight and a Rambling Sky. Lady, I cannot say I'm pleased with me, as I par the gap of age and youth, and I wander in the weight of night, and I wonder where the wrong began. Lady, if we could now just have met, and time were back to younger time, but love defaults to a rambling sky. The stars lean down and quietly laugh. And here's a sonnet called A Letter from the Virgin Isles. It's done fairly well in terms of receiving attention. And I suppose I should say the first 13 lines of the sonnet are in quotes because they are the letter itself, and the last line is a comment on the letter. So here's a sonnet called A Letter from the Virgin Isles. When you have resolved what it is you want, and can think of me in the tender time, then I'll come to you in the tender time, hold trembling hand to a trembling hand. But now you live in another's house, and walk with him in another's house, yet cling to me with a trembling hand, and surprise a fierceness of my heart. Give up this thought, leave me be. Love, I say, is a Catholic thing. Affairs are not by love construed as other than the world has known. Conduct your way, compose yourself. Woman, I say, don't come when time is terse. He keeps the woman while I hold verse. And back to a 4-line lyric, which, with apologies to Thomas Hardy's Midnight on the Great Western, is called O Journeying Girl. Go ramble in the lolling hills, yet stay with me this gruffing night. You neighbored love, O journeying girl, in the fretted surface of the day. The last of the woman poems from this section that I'll read is called Dirge in Flight. I won't comment on it. Let's just do it. Dirge in Flight. Obviously, things didn't work out too well. Yet astride the peccant moon, sad sail pillowing to the sky, perceptive on the spread of night, too long we flutter in the bind. Imperious bird declaims the dawn, then deigns a step from out the sky. I remember, night of the moon may descend to a bird whose perch preludes the frieze of vanity, pride's pejoration for the trenchant day. Boy, was I angry. We haven't had much humor here in the reading tonight. No laughs. The fourth of the 5 sections of Hilary Brooke is a series of epigrams. Some are quite serious in dealing with our friend Attis from Catullus' 63rd or Van Gogh. But there are 2 very light ones that I'd like to share with you just as a change of pace. They're both very, very short epigrams. One is called Giovanni Angelo Medici, who was Pius IV. And he was the fellow who commissioned the painter Daniel da Volterra to paint cloths over the genitalia of Michelangelo's male figures on the Last Judgment in the Sistine Chapel. Da Volterra became known by other painters as Bragattone, the breeches maker. So here's Giovanni Angelo Medici. It was Pius IV who ordered a cloth, and had breeches adorned so he wouldn't fawn, and no longer giggle at nudes by Michelangelo. And just one more of Haberman's, I guess you say sort of bitter humor. Someone accused me of being misanthropic. This has a comment, an epigraph from Baudelaire that says, "The study of the beautiful is a duel in which the artist cries out with fear before he is vanquished." And the title is Artists Dining in the Hamptons. That's that section I think we all know, Southampton, East Hampton, Bridgehampton, etc. The playground of the rich and the would-be rich. Then you're giving a dinner, not without me. To improve my art, I'll leave a husband home, and improve cachet with a gallery drone, then delight in my canvas that vanquished me. I think for true understanding of the Hamptons, one has to turn to something like Stendhal's Lucien Levin, or his book Fader, or something like that. Okay, well, we come to the end of the reading and the fifth and last section of Hilary Brooke. It begins with 5 haiku. If I were to put an epigraph over these just to orient you a little bit, there is not one in the book. I think I would pick Thomas Jefferson's comment that the greatest danger to the American Constitution will be urbanization. And of course he meant everything implied in that. But let the poetry speak for itself and let the artist shut up. 5 by night. 1. The exaggerating moon lit the tree of night, slow in the silence. 2. Samba timbrel in the night. 3. The febrile moon of night descends the sky, beguiled by proud flesh. 4. Cityward then, pliant night accedes into the ganging of the day. And 5. Anthropophobic man exalts the night of the terrifying day. Sonnet. Let time, in disparagement of days, inure the soul that yearns to exceed through regions of loss and little praise, where jackdaws winging caw the sky and stult the cuttings of the blessed. The easy ones are blessed, they say, not caught between 2 days, they say, where nighttime grackles wander wide and strut with pleasure's their behest. Birching sentinels arch unaware, as enrageous claims define the field. Bold shrubs align this blurting sphere. O time, who loathes to lose oneself, how different is the discourse of today. This poem is untitled, and the word lute is with two O's, as in to loot a store. In a fantasy of my wilder heart, as deafened silence loots the night, yes, loots the night, edged to extremity while all's asleep, yes, all asleep. If the angry night would only weep, as squall clouds bloat the quickened sky, ruminations rain on the ruined dawn. Again I ask, and again ask why. Bleak of the heart and hearth, I recollect myself in the gnaw of January, a little movement so far on the crippling snow. And two other four-line lyrics. Refrain. When young, with opening desire, a closure they'd provide, then I crouched rather low and did my best to hide. Walk with me where the moon is slung in the incising night. Walk with me and hold my hand. In the inchoate plan we do not define, stumbling past the placid rock, loathly reeling in aggressive shade, now the rising beauty of a terrible moon. And so we come to the last two poems in the book, or the last poem and the afterword poem. And this is called Bird in Flight, with apologies to Dante for his comment, look and pass. Bird in flight. Dear little bird, flown from the wildings of her hair as a gift of time that wends, glisk with delight a gentler song. In the drift of time the way begins, and time unfolds and time descends. Dear little bird, so zealous in refulgence, lilting streams and tumbling voids, drenching rocks soon pleat the night. In the drift of time the way begins, and time unfolds and time descends. Dear little bird, why disquieted though tempted? Why arrogated to dismay? With lamentation look and pass. In the drift of time the way begins, and time unfolds and time descends. Dear little bird, free solitary, spirit alone, unbound probate, homeless on the earth, fly, oh fly, on wings of weakness, fly, frail Jeremiah, probate of time, dear little bird. Time unfolds and time descends. In the drift of time the way begins, and time unfolds and time descends. Well, time is unfolding and time is descending. Here's the last poem that I shall read. It is the afterword poem, and it is the title poem of the book, Hilary Brook. There is a certain sycamore tree down by old Hillary Brook. Come wander to the sycamore tree, but bring the doubts I took. You'll find the way is easy, though a path's been lost some nights. Just ask the one who answers, the source of Hillary Brook. Oh, bring the doubts I took.